Welcome to this episode of Mental Wellness Insights. In this episode, our beautiful Sharon Khaemba speaks to us about her life journey. Often when we speak about addiction, we only think about contraband drugs or such as cocaine or alcohol. We never think about drugs that we buy freely on the counter. This conversation therefore should raise our eyebrows. Please always pay attention to such conversations because they are key to our wholesome well-being. Finally, have you subscribed to this very educative channel?
Okay, my name's Sharon Khaemba. Oh God, I have so many titles. I always say I'm so many things. I am a mother, most importantly. I am a wife. I am a daughter of an amazing woman. My mom is my pillar. I am a psychotherapist by profession. I am an author. I am a writer. I'm a mental health activist. Oh goodness, I'm the CEO of MH Magazine. Oh goodness, and the list goes on and on. Yeah,
you wear very many hats. We go straight to beyond hats.
Yes.
Your life story.
Yes. This one.
Yeah.
Wow.
We
So
will talk about your books.
Yeah.
I was saying we will tag your books at the end of this video.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yes. Wow. Beyond Heart is the mother of everything. Is the mother of everything that is happening to me currently. I would say that because when I started my journey and when I was done with my university and I was ready now to join, the world, not a day of my life did I ever think that my life will take the direction it has taken right now. Goodness, it's oh wow. Every time I talk about it, I'm so overwhelmed because I started on a different path and totally ended up on a different path altogether. Because even in the university, I did not do anything to do with mental health. I did English literature at Kenyatta University, and that was my first degree. And after I graduated, God was too good to me, and I got a very, very good job in one of the biggest companies, I would say then, in the country, because it was doing very, very well. And I got a very good role. I was given a very big shoe to fill in the company, considering I was still very young, but they gave me a lot of responsibility, and hence I was paid very well. So I was paid very well, and I loved the new life. And, considering I came from a background that is poor, when I got to a position where I could handle a lot of money, I was so excited, and I was running around up and down, doing all the other things that people do, when they get money, like, clubbing, going out, drinking alcohol. And I thought that was actually life for me. Until one day something happened to me that actually changed everything forever. And it was a very simple mistake that I came from a trip out of the country. And when I got home, I was so exhausted. And I thought I cannot be able to sleep because I think of the jet lag. Let me find something, maybe go get like a painkiller or something to sleep. So I went to a chemist and told the chemist, the lady at the chemist, that I want, if I'm feeling so tired, I want something if I can take, I'll just sleep. The lady was very nice. She said, "Oh, if that's what you want, I have something that I've always been giving guys, and they keep coming back over and over. Let me just give you this tablet. You go take one, and then you'll tell me how you're going to feel tomorrow." Then when I got home, I took the tablet. Oh my goodness, and it was true. It worked. It made me sleep. It made me feel nice. And that was the end of that day. The following day, when I came back, I was like, that Kadawa was very nice. Let me take it again. I took it again. And then a couple of weeks later, I realized I'm taking it every day to sleep. I could not be able to sleep without taking it. A couple of months later, I'm now taking it in the morning and in the evening. So slowly by slowly, I could not take one. I started taking 2 and then 3 and then 4, because the effect, if I take like one the way I used to take initially, I would not feel that effect wasn't there as much as it was during the first time. So I had to double the dose to get where I was the first time. In a span of a year, I was taking that tablet nearly hourly. In a day, I would take like 10 tablets. I got so addicted.
At this point in time, why were you taking it? Initially, you were taking it to sleep.
Yes.
Right now, you are taking it so many times in a day.
I don't know. I honestly, I cannot explain why I was doing that, because that feeling that it gave me, it was a very nice feeling. I must admit, I'll admit it to you. It made me feel nice. And even when I was, when I didn't really need to sleep, it also had another effect that was was making you a little bit high, but you're not high. You can be able to walk. Nobody can detect if you are, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So as much as I really didn't need it, it started working out for me. Like I would go for meetings and I'll take a tablet and I'll feel so good. I would laugh the whole time. I'll just be in my own cloud.
Yeah.
I'll be in my own cloud, and I loved it. I really did. So after some time, wow. The more I take it, the more I would sleep a lot. I would sleep for crazy hours. There's a time I remember I slept for 24 hours straight without waking up.
What?
And this started affecting my work.
Yeah.
Because if I was to take a lot of those tablets, it meant that I would sleep a lot. So sleeping a lot means that I will not be able to wake up to go to work. So sometimes I would wake up at midday. Or sometimes I'll wake up at 10 or 11. Which office in Kenya do you go at that time? So after excuse and another excuse, every day I have an excuse where I'm coming late. Every day I cannot make it on time. Every day I'm late for meetings. Eventually they had to let me go. Mind you, I had taken a mortgage. I had taken a car that I was still paying for. So when I lost that job, it's like I lost everything. But at that time, I still didn't see it. Because that drug gives you companion. I'm telling you. You take it and you feel like you're just okay. You don't need anyone. So I remember I would take it and sleep even when I didn't have anything to eat. Even after I lost, because after that I lost my house because I was not able to pay for it. I lost my car. They took the car away because now I could not be able to pay for it. So I moved to a smaller, dingy place. But I didn't mind. I would just take my tablet and watch TV. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to sleep and just have, and I would stay in that house for months without getting out of the house.
Mm.
Yes. I would stay indoor. You would think that I'm not there, but I'm just there. And until one day I took the tablet and it got too far. And I almost, I remember I just fell down. I was so dizzy, I fell down and I collapsed. And the next thing I remember is the guy I was dating at that time had visited me, and then he found me lying on the floor and took me to the hospital. That's what really happened. And that's when I started my journey now back to, to recovering from that addiction and getting myself back together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, as you were taking this drug, were you also probably taking alcohol or?
Yes, I was, but then it got to a point I didn't need to take alcohol any longer. It just did it for me. Yeah, at alcohol I was taking I was just taking it, but after a while I stopped. I would go out partying with my friends, but I'm high, but not on alcohol. This drug will just make you high, and then if you take enough, you can become so high. It's like you've sniffed some cocaine or something.
Is this a drug that is sold without prescription?
Now, a couple of years ago, with the new president, is when I actually had, no, I think the last president is the one I had who actually, for the first time, said something about it and said that it should not be sold, drugs that are not supposed to be given without prescription, and it was listed. But initially, it was not. And even today, I'm very sure, if I go to our chemist, I'll still get that drug. It's still selling. As much as we've talked about it, we have tried to speak about it, that it should not be given out. But then what do we do? What do we say? But what I know is that a couple of years after my incident, the former president spoke something about these drugs that are given over the counter, and one of the drugs that was actually prohibited was that drug. Yeah.
Okay, so now you found yourself in hospital.
Yes, I did. I found myself in the hospital. Yes. Wow, and this now began. In the hospital, I met a lady who is still a very good friend of mine up to date. And she made me understand what was happening to me, because as much as I speak about it the way I do now, at that time, I did not have that comprehension. I just felt I was okay. I don't know what people were telling me. So, I met someone who made me understand that I actually have a problem, and I need to find a way to overcome what I'd gotten myself into unknowingly, because this is an addiction I got into without knowing at all that I was actually getting myself into a very big problem that was actually going to cost me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this lady was she made me understand what was happening to me, and then I started my journey to recovery. I did a couple of rehab sessions. I went for rehab, and then after that I went into serious counseling and therapy, which now we dived into. Another serious issue that I had was on my mental health. I was diagnosed with clinical depression at that time, and I also had to check on that and work on it and get better. And then apart from depression, I also had anxiety, had the anxiety disorder. And she would tell me clearly that some of those effects grievously are there because of the drug that I was using. As much as, yes, I might be having trauma from my past, but what made these issues magnified is the addiction that I got myself into. So it was quite a journey, and a painful journey, because even to be able to detox, they call it detoxic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when I was writing about it, I was crying. Yeah. I was crying writing about it, because it was a very painful process to get out of it. The first 2, 3, 4 weeks were a nightmare for me, and it is just the grace of God. I remember I used to pray a lot, because I really just needed God to come through for me. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
After
And this is
the
where my
hospital,
passion
did you
is.
ever again take that drug? Sorry.
Pardon?
After
Yes.
the hospital incident, did you
Yes.
ever again take the drug, or straight away you stopped?
After that incident, up to date, I have never taken the drug again. Because I think for me, I just needed to understand what was going on. I think I was in a lot of denial. After I got out of the denial and I got someone to work with me to accept that that is where I was able now to just fight whatever else was remaining. The biggest part of my problem was denial. Yes, I completely denied what was happening. Even when things were falling apart, I could not accept. Yes.
Now, going back to the time you started taking this drug, was the only cause the jet lag and you wanting to sleep, or are there some underlying issues that you were covering?
So now that I understand what was happening to me, I was able to realize that I had a lot of issues that were going on at that time that I was trying to avoid with taking of this drug. And jet lag would come as one of the reasons. It's just one of the reasons. But even when you look at the way I was living my life then, I was living my life, clearly you'd tell this is someone who's gone through a lot of trauma. I have gone through trauma, abandonment, and all those issues. And I thought I will mask that with the money that I had. But as much as I had all the money that I needed, I was not able to get away from my trauma and my past. So that, I feel like it was just a way of me running away from what was eventually inevitable, because at the end of the day, I had to go back to deal with my trauma, to deal with my abandonment, to deal with father, daddy issues, so that I can be able to become whole again and not feel like I need to depend on anything like the drug to feel better. So now is when I realized, and after my journey, but then I didn't know that I had a problem. Even if you would have told me, I would not have believed you, because for me I was fine. And because our society and our community has made us believe that once you're done with university, you get a job. What else do you say? You are fine. You have money. Yes, you have money. You can take care of your siblings. You can take care of yourself. Then how do you tell people that you're not okay? You cannot. You're fine. Money. If you have money, the society makes you believe that you're okay. So for me, back then, I didn't know that until I went into this rabbit hole. Is when coming out of it is when I now realized I actually have a lot of issues that I needed to work on. I have a lot of issues that I needed to unpack with myself to be able to live whole.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, can we say then that it was good riddance that you got into this? Because
honestly, Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes. Let me tell you the truth. I always say this, that God will afflict you where He wants to use you. That's what I
exactly.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is if I would not have gone through what I had gone through, I would not have gone back to class and do psychotherapy. I would not have written the books I have written to date. I would not have reached the lives I have reached to date with my
Mm.
story. And I'm so passionate about what I am doing, and it's so fulfilling for me because I realized that now this is my calling. So I was actually afflicted into my calling. That's what happened to
Exactly.
me. Yes.
Exactly. Sometimes God
Yeah.
has to force you to see His purpose for you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. That's
because
what happened.
had you not gone into this, probably you would still be living that high life
Yes.
of
Yes.
having a lot of money, drinking, partying, and but still camouflaging your trauma.
Yes. Yes. That
Yeah.
is true. Yeah. And
Mm.
honestly, I love my life now. I love the person I have grown to become.
Mm.
I am now now that I'm a mother, I am so I am grateful that I went through the journey I did, because I'm trying to imagine, with all the baggage I had, how could I raise children? What kind
Exactly.
of mother would I have been? What kind of
Yeah.
wife would I have been? I thank
Hmm.
God because this was taken out of me before I was given responsibility of life in my hands. Yes.
Exactly. What God was detoxing you of all this
Yes.
to get you to
Yes.
your
Yes.
new
That is what
life.
we did. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, at what point did you then start the Beyond Heart, and what can you explain what Beyond Heart is?
Wow. Huh. I always say Beyond Heart is my baby. She's is
Uh,
Beyond Heart is my first baby.
yeah.
So I
Mm,
started Beyond Heart in 2018.
mm,
And the main aim was, I was so passionate of telling guys that you need to take care of yourself, that this mental health issue is real. And I remember
mm,
even our first meetings, we would meet at Karura Forest. And I would
mm,
put on flyers, and people would come from all over all over Nairobi to Karura for this session. And we will
mm,
just sit down and talk about mental health. And that's how it started. Like, just like
mm.
a group of people who just want to come together and speak. So
At
with
what
time,
point? At what point in your life did you birth Beyond Heart? At what point, and what is the major thing that pushed you to this?
okay. So I birthed Beyond Heart during my process of recovery. I would say my process because I always feel like I'm still recovering. Like,
Yeah,
recovery doesn't come to an end.
yeah,
So I would say at my point of recovery is when I birthed Beyond Heart. And what really pushed me to doing it is because I saw the kind of lives people were living with ignorance about
mm,
these matters that we don't think exist.
yeah,
The second reason was because I saw a lot of stigmatization. When you would
exactly.
say that you have a mental health issue, or even the people who have addiction in our society, we see how they are treated. Like, it's clear, it's evident. When even in our even if it's someone that you love, once they tell you that, hey, me, I'm not feeling okay, I feel I have depression, you'd see people start looking at you in a different way. But it's the way we've been wired to think, which is not
Mm,
right. So
yes,
my drive and up to date is, we need to normalize this conversation, because when it stops affecting two, three people, now it's affecting the majority of the people in our country, it means
mm,
it's a conversation that needs to be normalized. So for me,
yes,
normalizing this conversation, because I remember when I was going through what I was going through, I did it alone. I
exactly.
could not tell my mother, I could not tell my friends, I could not tell anyone. And even when the doctor told me to share, I told her not to tell anyone. It was just
Mm,
me and my therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
So
could not
it
let
becomes
anyone know.
uh,
I could not let anyone know that, Eti, I'm going through something like that, because I knew clearly people will not understand what I was going through. So my drive after when actually when I started my recovery, it was burning in my spirit that it's time we
yeah.
normalize this conversation. It's time we
Mm-hmm.
talk about it. Imagine
Mm-hmm.
if we talk about it, if I would have found someone to talk about it before it got so bad, I would have been
Mm-hmm.
saved from all the loss that I went through.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So for me, it is what I see and how we think it is. You speak of mental health. I think Kenyans and Kenya being a third world country, I think our economy and all those things affect people so much, and poverty issues, that when you
Mm-hmm.
bring mental health, it's just an extra baggage you're bringing in. So
Yes.
when
And yet
you start this.
all these issues impact mental health in such a huge way.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they do. So, for me, that is why we started Beyond Heart, and it has now grown to become so many things. In
Mm.
Beyond Heart, we have books that we publish with Beyond Heart. Currently, we have magazines that we publish with Beyond Heart, and then we have conferences that we hold from time to time on mental health awareness. My next conference is going to be 6th of June in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and we are targeting like 150 or 200 youths to attend the conference. So it has really grown to become the help that we need. Yes.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
we have gone into Beyond Heart, but we haven't really explained to people what Beyond Heart is. So can you tell
Oh
us
wow.
what is Beyond?
Oh yeah. Oh, one Beyond Heart is, like I said, the mother, the mother of my ministry. Beyond Heart is a
Yeah.
book that I
Mm,
wrote in 2019 is when I
mm,
published it. Um, it's a book about my story, just the narration I've just given, but in
yeah.
depth. If you want the juice of it, it's in the book.
Yeah.
The in depth of the story of what transpired and what happened to the last day that I went into rehab. That's what
Mm,
Beyond Heart book is. The reason why I continued with the name, even for my organization, I felt like
mm.
it speaks a lot about my journey, because
And
I
not just
feel like
your
I was
journey,
beyond.
not
Yes.
just your journey, a journey of so many people,
Oh yeah.
most of whom are silent.
Yes. 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 And we are broken. Majority of us are so broken. We really
Yeah.
need that hope. And I felt like Beyond Heart would speak, would actually, once you see it, you'd want to know what it is, because it kind of
Mm,
resonates with everybody.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So then, apart from the book, you started an organization called Beyond
Yes.
Heart.
Yes. No. Yes.
Yeah.
Apart
So
from now the
Beyond
book.
Heart, what do you do in the organization?
Okay. So I kind of mentioned it earlier. Beyond
Mm,
Heart now, the organization, we do Beyond Heart. I've published another book using the organization, because now my publishing is done in the organization and not as an individual.
mm,
Number two, the organization does mental health magazines and other magazines that we publish. And then we do mental health conferences all over the country. We even do them in East Africa. Like I said, I have one of the conferences that I'll be hosting in Tanzania, 6th of July, which we are planning and hoping to host 150 to 200 youths.
mm.
So Beyond Heart is an outreach organization. We just go out and speak about uh,
Mental
mm,
health.
mental health and the things that people don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
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 Okay. Now, I would like to hear your definition of mental health.
Okay. Wow. So mental health for me is the well-being of your mind, the well-being of your person. That's what I would say it is for me. Well-being. That's what I would describe it as. It is the most ignored part of a human body, or the human part of existence, but I always say it is the most important part for me. So mental health is the well-being of a human, because it is what carries everything else. Yes. So that's what I know, I believe mental health is. And for me, again, I'm very passionate about mental health because I've done a lot of studies and a lot of researches on the same. And quite recently, I have come to find out that with the CBC research by Kaisa Permanente, he says that we have this enemy that is killing more than diseases, and he has become an enemy to humankind, and he's very incognito. We cannot be able to see them. So this enemy has been hiding for so long, but right now what is happening is that we used to think is an enemy that will only affect us mentally, but now is an enemy that now is even affecting us physically. What am I saying? I have come to realize trauma being the mother of mental health, has been discovered to be the biggest problem, the biggest cause of physical issues and sicknesses and illnesses that we're having currently.
Very true.
That advanced trauma in a child is what is now becoming this great and enormous cases you see of cancer, and you see of heart issues, and all these things that are happening. Research shows that majority of these cases, they're originating from a place of trauma.
True.
I used to wonder why nowadays young people are dying very young of cancer, of all these diseases that a long time ago we never used to hear of them.
Yeah.
Then I came to realize that advanced trauma, which we do not even ourselves were not prevented from, and unknowingly even us, we don't prevent our children from trauma. What we don't know is that this trauma has now become not only a mental health problem, is now a physical problem.
Yes.
That is what is happening now. It has now shifted. Now, we used to think we will just talk about mental health. People have said they don't want to talk about mental health. Wanasema, Kenyans and mental health, there's a way they've just put themselves, like they don't want to be a part of that conversation. But now, this is what I'm saying, that research shows that now trauma not only affects you mentally, now it's the biggest issue that is affecting our physical health.
We will do this topic of trauma a little bit deeper on its own as in the next probably conversation we have with you.
Okay, that will be fine, because I'm very passionate about it.
I believe, yes, I believe that this is the foundation, like you rightly say. This is the foundation of a lot of mental health issues.
Yes.
that are being dealt with, being felt by people.
Mm.
Yes, so we moved from a story to trauma, to beyond hurt, to trauma. And so probably I want you to, if there is something that you feel we should mention here that we haven't mentioned before we conclude, because I can foresee this conversation going on and on for many hours. But
Yes. Yes.
we will have other times that we speak about specific mental health
Yes. Yeah.
issues. So I
Yes.
want to give you this chance to say what you feel we should say here.
Wow. For me, I just feel like let's just normalize this conversation because
Mm,
it looks like a mountain because we really don't want to interact with it. Once you interact with
mm,
it, you'll realize that mountain becomes a hill.
mm,
It only looks really big from afar.
mm,
And I always say that people have gotten to a place they are tired of this conversation. That's what I say.
mm,
They're tired of
mm,
hearing that there is a problem and they want to
mm,
know what is the solution.
mm,
Number one, the first thing we will do is normalizing this conversation. We need to
mm,
normalize talking about mental health. That is number one, the first step to actually answering the question, what do we need to
mm,
do?
mm,
I am actually very passionate about this question of I hear so many people telling me, Sharon, we are tired. We are literally tired of hearing that we have a problem. Of hearing all of you professionals are telling us, kuna mental health issues, everyone is talking about this. But we are not seeing anyone who is telling us exactly what do we need to do not to get there and what do we need to do if we are there.
That's
That
very
is the
important.
That is very important. And that, like I said, the first step is normalizing these conversations. Come to conferences where all my conferences, when you come to my conferences, what I do is teaching you how to
Mm,
live well and teaching you how um I promise you will not have any conversation to do with of course I'll talk about mental health, but I will not
yeah.
emphasize on the way you're sick. I'll tell you how you can live better and become a better person. So if we normalize this, we can be able
Mm,
to speak about this and find solutions from all dimensions, because I feel we've just not looked deeper to see there is a solution that can be very effective for us as a country, let alone as individuals.
mm,
Yes, I think that's
mm,
it. Let's just normalize
mm,
and talk about this.
mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
we normalize and talk about it and deal with issues that are affecting our community, issues such as suicide rates is so high, issues such as marital issues, the divorce rate is so high. People are
Mm,
like toxic. A lot of us are just living in toxicity. And all
mm,
of these things happen without people
yes.
talking about, being open about it. And this is
Yes.
what we should do, to have open conversations, have
Mm,
people know that these things are there, they're normal,
mm.
but they can be rectified. You can live a normal life. Thank you for watching this episode of Mental Wellness Insights. My takeaway are this. First, we could have a lot of money, But if we do not take care of our mental health, we are in trouble. Second, childhood trauma goes deep to affect our adulthood lives, even without knowing it. It is important to identify, accept, own up, and deal with it, and not cover or camouflage anything. Third, trauma is the biggest cause of the physical issues that are currently being experienced in the society. People are living with ignorance of important matters that exist. Majority of people are broken, so broken that we should indeed be described as a broken society. Let us all own up and heal our society. Our next conversation with our beautiful Sharon will be a detailed conversation on childhood trauma. Watch out for this conversation in one of the next few videos. Please remember to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to click on the notification bell so that you are not left out when we upload. Blessings.